We want to know who your heroes were. Who, growing up, really inspired you to want to sing and do music?
Who's that wants to know this?
All of us.
Okay. I really thought Jackie Wilson was great. I really enjoyed, Jackie's voice, his range, his smoothness on stage. So he was one of my favorites. And then there were, it was the beginning of rock and roll, so there was all these doo-wop groups, and I was really enamored by the harmonies and some, really great songs.
Mm-hmm. So it kind of inspired you to do your own thing. You grew up in Southern California?
No, I grew up in New York.
Oh, you're from New York?
Yeah, I'm from the Bronx.
Now, how did you come about to join Three Dog Night?
Well, I played college basketball, so I came out to California on a basketball scholarship. And when I was early in my college career, I was signed with Columbia Records, and the biggest record company in the world. So I had to leave school and devote myself to that. And while I was on Columbia, I ran into Danny Hutton. I met Danny Hutton at a party, and we became friends. And I ended up singing some background on one of his records. And when he came up with the idea to put a band together, he contacted Corey Wells and then contacted me, and the three of us sang together, and it was just perfect.
So everything kind of clicked, the different voices all kind of blended together, and there's chemistry as far as writing goes?
Yeah, it was not easy to write. We really butted heads. Writing was not really much flexibility with new ideas on a song that was already started. So basically, the writing really was not something that came easily for us.
So it's mainly covering a lot of people's songs. I know Hoyt Axton brought in "Joy to the World." Tell us about when you first heard that song and you kind of made it your own.
Well, it was turned down. It was turned down by Danny and Corey and the band, and I hadn't heard it. And then Hoyt came in with a version, Jeremiah Was a Prophet, and I don't think that's going to work. But I liked the chorus, the Joy of the World chorus. So, I worked on to change some things around, and, the band and I got together and we put it together.
Amazing song. I mean, I know it changed your world and just brought so much joy to the world. How did he become a bullfrog? Where did that come from?
No, Hoyt was working on a cartoon about a bullfrog for TV, so that came from that. And then I worked in the beginning, changed the beginning so it would be this real big, powerful, Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog line, and then the rest, just kind of fell into place.
Beautiful. Tell us about some of your other favorite songs, some of our classics that we know, and any stories behind, or what they mean to you.
Well, no, there's 21 top 40 hits with Three Dog Night. So that, there's one is the loneliest number, which was our first million seller. So that held a very special a place in my heart. You go from really being totally unnoticed to having a million seller and a huge record, and it changes your life, a #1 record. And then Easy to Be Hard was the next one, and that was a special performance by me, so I was very, very proud of that. So, the songs, there's many of them.
Yeah, I mean, your performance obviously was, incredible, and it's what we remember the most about the songs is the passion in your voice and, the emotion that touched people. What were some of the highlights of the shows or events that really you remember as like special, like spine-tingling moments?
Well, just when we took on the stadium tours, which was just nothing but stadiums during the summer, and being able to sell out all the baseball stadiums, and having 80,000 people, and it was we actually had changed the way touring would be, because no one had done these stadiums before. So we were the architects of a new era of big stadium touring, and it was a special thing for us.
Sure. And how surreal is that to see a whole stadium singing back your words?
It was exciting. It was fun, but the joy for me was performing. To hear the people screaming and yelling was great, but it wasn't the reason I was doing it. I was doing it to see how good I could get, how far I could go as a performer. So it was wonderful hearing the people and knowing they were enjoying it, but it wasn't the reason I was there.
So your performance was the thrill for you?
Yes, that's, I was up there. That's what I was there for.
That's great. Now, I know you have a book, Three Dog Nightmare, and what can you tell us about that book and let everyone know why they should read that?
Well, it's a book, just that chronicles, my life, but also my life in Three Dog Night and the insanity of the 60s and 70s, and how drugs and alcohol took over my life, and the wonderful journey back to sobriety and sanity.
Yeah. And how does it feel to be able to be sober and enjoy life?
It feels great. I mean, it's a blessing to be free of addiction, and to have 22 years of clarity and for the most part, peace of mind.
What can you impart on these young musicians that think it is all about a party and might go down the wrong road? What can you tell them?
It's very easy to fall into, because I did. And you're young and you want to have fun, but the bottom line, you got into it was to become great, become brilliant, to become special, be one among many. And when you go down the road of partying and drugs, you're just another slob.